Hey, what's up? It's Rashad. Antonio, OG friend of the fam. We are back, Calrissian Kids, with Ahsoka, episode number 7,
Mm-hmm.
Dreams and Madness. I first saw it like in my mind, I instantly read Dreams and Nightmares.
I did.
I was like,
Hold
oh
up, wait a
snap.
minute. Y'all
I
thought
used
we were
to
finished?
pray for times like this. Okay. Anyway, all spoilers, man. I got to talk about the thing to talk about the thing. I'm getting right into this today. Ahsoka episode for this to be the penultimate episode. It
I know what you're about
was
to say. Yep.
yo like we did not like again. This is my problem with the show.
Mm-hmm.
Filoni want everything to be a reveal, and it's I don't know, like he not really he not seasoning the thing right. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
almost like you know what the show feels like to me.
What's that, Rashawn?
The show feels like to me when somebody who was man, got me froze over here. Okay, the show. Oh, I'm sorry. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
The show feels like to me when somebody is grilling chicken and they grill the chicken with salt and pepper and then want to throw barbecue sauce on it
After
after
they
it's all over instead of like, really
basting.
basting and
Basting,
merit, like,
yeah.
making that, the day before, you know what I'm saying, a brine, take that brine off, season that chicken, you know what I'm saying, and then grill that chicken with some love and some care. Then, if you want, throw that barbecue sauce on it because the chicken itself is good. You know what I'm saying? Like the chicken is
Mm-hmm.
great. It's succulent. You know what
It's
I'm saying? We out
succulent.
here falling off the bone.
Right.
It ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if it's the white meat, it's cooked all the
Right.
way through. It ain't
Right.
pink. You
That
know what I'm
that
saying?
that brine all the way down to the marrow of the
That Brian
bone.
get Brian get a merry time, boy. Hey,
Uh-huh.
Thanksgiving tips. Brine your turkeys, y'all. Don't nobody
Yes.
want no dry turkey. All right.
Right.
Brine your turkey. Half sugar, half salt, warm water, let it
Mm-hmm.
dissolve, cool it down. I don't know why I'm giving turkey tips. Anyway,
Yeah.
this show feels like he said, nah, we gotta make this food now. We're gonna put some barbecue sauce on it at the end. And that's what's pissing me off the most about this show. It's like you see that it wants to be great. It really
Mm-hmm.
does.
Mm-hmm.
But now I can officially say the pacing of this show is what's throwing me off. The pacing and like
Mm-hmm.
the whole I want to make everything a reveal is
Mm-hmm.
really that's for it to be the for this to be the best looking Disney Plus show, period. I'm talking about Marvel and Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
We This should have been a much more cohesive, dare I say, cogent story.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this episode, and that's one thing that let's not talk about episode. Let's talk about the show. That is one thing that we have harped on with this show. Now, here's the thing that's wrong with people in general. People nowadays can't. They hate when you give criticism to something. You know what I'm saying? If you're giving criticism to it, you are a hater, or you're not letting it play out, and this and that. We saw this coming by the second, third episode. By like second, third episode, we was like, there are some conflicts here that should have been explained by now, and they haven't. And we posted I think it was the second episode we made the little viral video, whatever we posted it. We
Third
gave our
episode.
opinion. Third
Third
episode.
episode. Yeah, yeah.
Third episode. People started, man, just sit back and watch. Just sit back and watch. Just wait.
No,
And
no,
we like,
no, no. Let Dave Filoni cook. When we
let
let him
Dave
cook, and
Filoni.
we see what he cooking, this
Mm-hmm.
salt and pepper chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And and then like he would give us an episode and we was like, this is what we talking about. And then people was like, yeah, see, oh, y'all loving the show now. We never said we didn't like the show. We never said we did. We just said there's certain things about the show that can be a whole lot better. There's like good, better, best. That's the mantra that we came up on, me and Rashad or whatever. 4 years of college, good, better, best. Where we
Good,
gonna do
better,
it.
best.
And right now it's like it can be better. It's good, but it can be way better, and it hasn't. And I mean, this, like you said, for this to be the second to last episode of this, and we don't even know if it's going to be a season two. You know,
Mm.
it's it was lackluster. This episode could have been on the real. They could have tied this episode to last episode if they wanted to,
They should have.
which they should.
Or okay. All right, let's quick
Yeah, let's go
overview.
ahead and get into it.
Quick
Yeah.
overview of the episode. This is gonna take me 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So we see a senatorial meeting. And Hera again reveals. So Hera's talking and she's being reprimanded by the evil, I forgot, Senator
Zeno, or
Zeno, you know what I'm
that.
saying?
Let me, yo, this dude is for the streets. He's for the dumpsters. Yo, get this dude. Like,
And it was fun. It was funny, like seeing how that's is the same senator from Star Wars Resistance. It all comes
I
back to blow up in his face.
and that's exactly what I heard. I heard about. I haven't seen Resistance
Yeah,
yet,
so I unfortunately saw Resistance, and yeah, why
and I
is
hear
my
like
camera keep freezing? Yeah, but it definitely comes
and
back.
I hear like his son is like part of the Resistance, and he's upset or whatever. Like, yo, man, this dude here is just like, I, why? I mean, that's my question with him. What? Why
Status
are
quo, man. He just wants the
yeah,
status quo.
right? But my thing is this, like, dude. I understand it's the status quo. You want the status quo. You want to keep. He's basically like how I guess you could say real life government is, possibly the U.S. government, where there could be
No, I
things,
mean
there are things
that is
going on,
really
and you're just like, hey man, it's not that bad. What are you talking about? Until it blows up in your face, and you sitting there looking stupid. Like I didn't know. Yes, you did know.
quite literally. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure he was on Hazian Prime when it blew up. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I hope he was.
yeah. Anyway, so
Uh-huh.
that no senatorial meeting happens and they're questioning, and he's just trying to get a leg up on her. All of a sudden, and then C-3PO shows up. I'm like, God, why are we trying Anthony Daniels out here again? Yo, I hate C-3PO now, yo. I cannot stand watching him. I really don't. Yeah, because it's one of those things that are just like overused. And I even understand why they use him because it's a standard for Leia. Of course, we can't use Leia, RP Carrie Fisher, no whole
Mm-hmm.
nine. But like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Again, another reveal. It's been revealed that C-3PO and like they was trying. Like, young man came in there with that real I need to speak to the manager type energy.
He did. You know who I am. You should know who. He told that guard you should know who I am. I said I beg your pardon.
Yeah,
What? That's a 3PO. Come on, bro.
yeah. 3PO said, "Look, man, I'm the reason why y'all here.
I
Don't
mean,
trip."
for real. I mean, he's one of the puzzle pieces on why what I'm saying that the rebels won the the war against the Empire.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
It was so that happens, and Hera ends up getting off because Leia lied, talking about some I approve the mission, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
And Moffat was like, "Yo, she didn't really do that." And Hera was like, "Well, eventually she did."
Eventually she did. She was like, eventually she did it. And then she was like, all right. And then she asked the question, yo, is the and my mom is the only one taking this seriously. She's like, hey, is this threat for real? I'm just asking you.
Mm-hmm.
And she straight up told her, she was like, hey, yes, it is. And right now, Ahsoka is our only hope in making sure this doesn't happen.
Yeah, is Thrawn really gonna come back?
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, I'm trying to tell y'all. Yeah, so we flip back to Huyang and Ahsoka. Ahsoka is training, and we see like a message from Anakin, and Anakin is telling her make sure you practice these forms, and she's just doing that kind of finally, I guess, accepting that it wasn't her fault or whatever. Mm-hmm. But blah blah blah.
And then she said that he left these, but she never looked at him or something. She was like, "This is the last one that he left."
Yeah. He did like several of these. You know what I'm saying? Huyang was like, you can tell me nothing about this. So
right.
So they jump out of hyperspace. Thrawn already knew what was gonna happen, and he lays a minefield in front of their entry jump point, And like the Wells is like, what's going on? So she's like, this just don't feel right. So they go through, open the mouth up, and they see the minefield, and they was like, well, at least the Wells are covered for us.
The
They
Wells
have
says,
this
screw y'all, we out of here, Jack.
like they was like, man, we did our job, yo. It's time to go somewhere else.
Uh-huh.
So they hyperspace out of there. Um, fighters come, they don't get out the minefield. They go down into the ring around the planet, which is like the debris field, basically. Mm-hmm. And they hide out there. Thrawn figures out, like, look, yo, Thrawn is stupid, yo. Thrawn said, yeah, Jedi's, know how to hide. They've been hiding for years.
She was like, she's hiding in the saying, in the ring of the planet. And he's like, yes, Jedi know how to hide. They've been hiding for years. I said, this man here, Thrawn has no chill, don't care what
that
bit.
Was hilarious, yo.
And then they brought him the information on Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that real quick. Did you see that man's face? When he saw who her master was, he was like, no. He would like, Jedi Master Anakin Skywalker. He was like, and then Morgan was like, is that a problem? He was just like, Night Sisters, I'm gonna need some of y'all magic again real quick. I'm gonna need some of y'all magic again. And like I said, I just want to know why the Night Sisters are so loyal to them.
Didn't
they refer to him as master or something?
Yeah, they hit him with my lord. You know what I'm
saying? My lord,
like,
yeah. We're the Game of Thrones, my lord.
Lord. Again, and that's the thing, Tony. Like with even
I'm like, these chicks could just kill this dude, like with the force power, easy, like even no problem.
Even us who watch this stuff, we don't know why. Again, there's no explanation. So
yeah.
Oh man, Tony. Yeah, so let's
keep it moving.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They so they end up eventually finding her or whatever. Flip back to the people on the ground, and Sabine and Ezra are riding with the turtle rock people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they're going, they're migrating. That's what they do.
And apparently she seems to have told him.
I didn't feel like it.
It's like, because remember he said, so he was like, so we won the war. She was like, yeah. He says, Emperor's dead. She said, presume.
That's what they say.
She said, that's what they say, presumably, or whatever. And then he was like, okay. And he just left it at that. But I'm like, how much does he know? Does he know what she did to get here and all that?
Had not told her none of that.
Right.
Because remember when Ahsoka shows up, he's like, how does it like why are you here? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so
because remember she was like, so what were you doing since then? She was like, yeah, we was trying to find you. She said, we almost gave up. And then he was like, we? Like, what's up? And then she was like, yeah, so I have been training with Ahsoka to be and the thing is, this is a callback to the show. To the episode where Kanan was training her with the dark side. Yo, Ezra was so disrespectful to her in this scene, like he was when she trained with Kanan and Jerry. She was like, yeah, she became my master, and I was her Padawan. And he looked at her like,
you?
You're like, you?
He's like,
really?
Yeah. Oh man, congratulations, yo. Like,
yeah. Right. Because when she was training with Kanan, oh, my man was clowning her, and he was just sitting back like, and I mean, it was going back to what Yang said, was like, you are absolutely the worst person to even possibly be able to wield the force or anything like that has ever been. I've been doing this for thousands of years or whatever.
Easy.
And so, he was just like, okay, or whatever. Also, what we see in the distance is, I think it's safe to say, me and Rashad's favorite character on the show. Baylan Skoll And the Raiders that him and Shin Hati, they met up with, have came and reached up to him. And they're sitting there and they're like, yep. And he just looks at her and says, hey, there they are. Yeah, our paths are leading us in the other directions right there. And I was like,
What?
what? I said, wait a minute. And she was like, huh? And he was like, yeah, that's go get them. I gotta go. I got to go to what's calling me out here in the forest. Right.
Yo, your man said, hey, go secure your spot in the new empire.
Mm-hmm.
Shin looked at him like, what are you talking about, yo?
Mm-hmm.
He said, yeah, my path leads me in another direction. Because he's still trying to find this quote unquote thing that's calling out to him on Purity. Is that name of the planet? Purity? Purity? Yeah. Peridia. Yeah. So and Shin is like flabbergasted.
Yeah, like right. She was like, man, we ain't discussed this shit. What you mean?
No. What do you mean? Like I thought it was team. I thought we was a team out here. You know what I'm saying? Like
Team Jedi Bounty Hunters, Team Bounty Hunter, baby.
Team Four Shoes of Mercenaries.
Mercenaries, right?
I really was confused too, just like her in that moment. And
then he hit her with that line.
Yeah.
He hit her with that. What the line basically was similar to don't because he told her, he was like, yeah, you're gonna go do this because you're focused on one thing, and that's basically this chick has whatever beef she has with Sabine Wren. Like Sabine Wren she must know Sabine as a Mandalorian and killed her family or something like that. Because this chick hates Sabine.
Here's a line.
Impatience for victory will guarantee defeat.
There we go. Impatience for victory, guaranteed defeat. I said,
and I was like, what? Okay, so because after obviously you saw I had this on deck, so that was the line and the whole thing that really piqued my interest. I was like, what is Baylan talking about? Like, I get, and people be so like not thinking outside the box. Sometimes on YouTube, he was like, oh, it's a Sun Tzu Chinese proverb. I'm like, dog, I don't care about that. I'm talking about what is this referring to in context to the show, not literally. Like, I'm not dumb. I know what this literally means. I know it, like you have to have patience with everything. You know what I'm saying? It's a virtue. Anyway, I'm like, what does this have to do with him? You know what I'm saying? What does it say about him? Because he's an older man, and him having patience really ain't really it. You know what I'm saying? In regards to like his life and how long he lives. And then of course with Shin always has to be patient because she's a natural hothead anyway. Yep. So what does it have to do with her? And also like who else is this statement going to impact and affect? Because this is too grand of a statement to make for it to not come back around.
Yeah. So like the first time I heard that statement, it took me back to my days back in the day when I was younger and I was, training martial arts. So, it was like, when you're ready to fight, when we was competing and fighting, it was always, hey, don't lose your head. You know what I'm saying? Trying to win because, you know what I'm saying? Because you can beat this person. And maybe something happens when you get upset. You try to fight angry. Yeah. And you end up losing. Like he is trying his best with her to make her so balanced in the Force. But she has, from what we've seen from episode 1, has been leaning so much further into the dark side instead of trying to, you know what I'm saying, get that balance. I think he has like a pretty decent balance.
Yeah, he really does.
Of the Force or whatever. But yeah, I was like, man, what is that? So long story short, he's like, all right, go do your thing, girl. And they send the Raiders and her, and they start attacking their little envoy of Ezra and them, and Sabine is shooting, and she's like, yo, get your people to help. And then Ezra does the little sounds and stuff and talk to him. My man popped one of them turtle things, popped out with a slingshot. That's like bing, just hit the dude in the head and bounced off. She said, are you serious? And he's like, they're peaceful people. He said,
which is like a callback from Ezra, like the first season, because he had that electric slingshot.
Right. Yeah. Right. Very good callback. So she was like, they're peaceful people. She was like, Yeah, peaceful. You ain't saying they were helpless. So she's sitting there trying to shoot these people, shoot these saying these raiders and Shin Hati. In the meantime, the Republic is still chasing, Ahsoka in the sky or whatever, and Ahsoka comes up with the plan of, hey, I'm just gonna jump ship. Yang keep flying to give me cover and stuff like that. And he's like, hey man, don't do this. This ain't worked last time. Like what are we doing? And she was like, we got it. And she jumps the ship, lead them away because she finds
Baylan.
Baylan. It's Sabine. Also, they got caught because she reached out to the Force. She got found out inside the inside the gravity of the planet because she was hiding because she reached out to the Force of Sabine. And what Yang saying, is she strong enough to sense this? I know what you're trying to do. And Sabine did sense it. So,
And what pissed me off again,
mm-hmm.
because she heard her,
mm-hmm.
said her name via the Force, and your boy was like, yo, so what was that? So I felt a voice that was, he said, who was it? It was real familiar. I was like, come on, like why are we doing this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like again, the reveal for Ezra that Ahsoka is here. When she was like, anyway, we'll get to that. So the confrontation that I love the most this whole episode was Baylan and Ahsoka. Because Baylan understands who Ahsoka is, but also understands that I'm better than you.
Yeah. He said, you can't. He said, yo, you can't beat me, yo. Straight up. It's bad when you beat somebody, and then when you just look at him like, would you stop? You cannot beat me. And then,
girl, go ahead, stop playing.
Right, she was holding her own, but she wasn't beating him. And the only reason the fight stopped was because Yang basically flew back around and threw some cover fire down for her, and she basically disappeared, go down. And he was like, he didn't even go chase her. He didn't even go chase her with her because, like he said, he's like, look, man, I got bigger fish to fry. And so, what was funny too with me with back with Sabine and Ezra. Ezra's like, hey man, we just got to stand our ground. He's like, yo, circle up. Okay, or whatever, and they circle up with their little envoy stuff. And Sabine's like, all right. She gets off the thing. She says, she pulls out the lightsaber. Here you go, buddy. And he's like, nah. She said, here you go, buddy. He was like, yeah, I gave that to you. And I'm like, because while they was chasing, the whole time I'm saying to myself, Ezra, man, use the Force. I know you've been on this planet doing something like crush them dudes or something or smack them around. And she's like, yo, take the lightsaber. He's like, no, I gave it to you. And then she was like, well, what are you going to use? He was like, I got the Force. I said, all right, let's go, Ezra. Ezra probably the daggone been meditating, got some Force damn technique stuff that we ain't seen. They're going to be like, yo, this kid is powerful. Psych. Nope, not at all. Basic force push. That's all he was doing. He basically was force pushing, like, go away. Like force pushing these people, man. Yo. It was so underwhelming. Like, take that. And Sabine is out there like really fighting, using a lightsaber, and and thank God she started using some Mandalorian tactics as well with her Jedi training to where she was taking out most of the people.
Really did.
Go. Die. It was like,
and
come on, bro.
You know what was even more sad? When Shin Hati ran up behind him and threw him to the side of the daggone one of those little vehicles. I was like,
she force slung him the same way Ahsoka did her when she thought that she killed. He slapped the side of that daggone vehicle so hard and he gonna get up to some. I was so disappointed in Ezra.
Nah, man. I was so disappointed. The funny part is, but that's Ezra.
Right.
That's him as of right now, the only character has been like true to his actual animated role. It has been like Ezra's really been him. He's been real
laid back
quirks and I'm sorry, quippy. What is a quirk? He's been real quippy the whole time and just being real relaxed, like you said, and just being sarcastic. Like they've nailed him, and the actor's doing a really good job, like nailing his facial expressions and everything too. This camera This computer. I'm sorry. Keep on going, sir.
It's all right. So Ahsoka joins up and they take out, you know what I'm saying, the Raiders, their version of the Tusken Raiders for this new galaxy planet or whatever. And Shin Hati basically corners Ezra and Sabine. And that's, like you said, what we saw when Shin Hati flung Ezra to the side like a rag doll, and it was just her and Sabine. And then next thing you know, Ahsoka pops up. Oh, Shin Hati was like, Shin Hati was like, ooh, I don't know about she actually took her master's advice and she sat back and was like, In the meantime, too, Thrawn had sent battleships to help with the fighting. And he was like, after he, you know what I'm saying, a certain point, he was like, yeah, let's pull the troops back. Let's get them on out of here. And Morgan Elsbeth is like, yo, what are you doing? Like Grand Admiral, like Master, like what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. We got him right there. We can get him. He was like, look here. He says, time is on our side right now. And then he just basically pulled up a little map. We are basically 80% done, loaded up everything we have to get up off this planet and leave these people, never see them again or whatever. They don't have the time that you know, say that whatever. It's all good. And that's what makes Thrawn. Thrawn is always 5 steps ahead of everybody else. He is the epitome of, I am the smartest person in the room.
Yeah, that's definitely him. Oh yeah. Call back to Rebels with the ships that they used to.
Yes, those were the TIE Intrepids.
I don't you know, I'm talking about the drop ships.
They're TIE Defenders. Yeah,
the gunships.
Because I looked at him. I said, "Yo, are they his?" I said, "Those are his designs of the ship that he wanted to manufacture in full mass."
No.
That wasn't them.
No. Those were the remember like the last episode when Governor Price came and they flew upon. Those are those ships.
Okay.
But what else? So yeah. So Ahsoka
Shin Hati bounces.
Shin Hati leaves. Smart thing for her to do. Ahsoka and Ezra reunion, you know what I'm saying, which was great and cool. I could talk about that before we get out of here. And Ahsoka and Sabine still don't really talk about what they've been through or saying, like, she was like, I thought you was dead. And then Ahsoka was like, I missed this reunion? I'm like,
right.
Like we not saying that thing. Okay. Is that the episode? I feel like we said everything.
I think that's the episode because that's when Thrawn Dagon was like, yo, we got time, and episode ends on that. Yeah, and it ends on that, and it ends on them 3 reuniting, hugging, and kissing, and oh yeah, we back together. And then we got 1 episode left.
Let me tell you, like, just how much I thought this was episode 6 in my mind. Because even when I started, like, I found my thumbnail. I said, oh yeah, thumbnail, and I started, just setting stuff up. I put episode 6 in because I really thought we had 2 more episodes, because this feels like the beginning of a 3-part thing and not the midpoint of a 3-point arc. So that's my whole, like, man, like I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but I'm just gonna point out this show, the where the show was lacking, and I even heard somebody else say it today, was it's really like character development. Seeing how I'm not even talking about the people who, at this rate, I'm not talking about the people who haven't seen Rebels or Clone Wars. I'm just talking about for this show as a show in itself.
Period.
I mean, we don't really know Ahsoka's motivation. We don't know Sabine's motivation outside of them trying to find Ezra. We don't know. And to be honest, if I didn't know who Ezra was,
I wouldn't care.
I'd be like, why are we trying to find this dude? You know what I'm saying? Because they don't even explain just how awesome Ezra was or what he did on Lothal for other than the beginning episode. But but there's nothing that kind of, again, it's a lot of telling and not enough showing you what happened or the why of this whole thing. And I think that's been kind of what's been lacking for me.
Did they say how long the last episode is going to be?
I don't know. That whole better be like 2 hours because like
Yo, for real. Yo, for real. I mean,
and again, I even understand because I know people are gonna be saying this. I understand that this is basically serialized television that's gonna be leading into a movie, which rarely happens. So when that happens, the television part has to be so tight and so the world has to be so fully developed that the people who are following along are going to be invested enough to actually follow along. And even with Thrawn as a character, we know he's dope, but I'm not sure if the greater public does. You know what I'm saying? We hype about Thrawn because we already know what's up, but like everybody else is like, yo, why is this old white dude just, not really doing anything? He's just talking a lot.
Old white blue dude.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like why is he doing this? But he's menacing, but he's a tactician, but
I'm gonna tell you what they kept missing too. They've been hyping this dude up since The Mandalorian season 3. And The Mandalorian season 3, when it ended, you had the Empire Remnant Council, talking, and you had Thrawn's right-hand man who was like, yo, Thrawn's coming back, Jack. Don't worry. You had other guys like, man, whatever, we don't know about that. And they're hyping this up, and then it's like we see him. Like I said, we know how awesome he is, the awesome character he is. But general fans are just gonna be like, so what does he do? He don't have the Force. And he don't have the Force. He don't have the Force. He don't. Saying he's not a dark side wielder. So, what makes him?
Why is he so special?
Right. What makes him? What makes him him? And what makes him that guy or whatever like that? And I just feel like I put it like this. They better, if they don't really, they need to explain everything in this. Now I ain't gonna say explain everything. Explain most of the things that are really important in this episode. And they better not play with us. They better give us a post-credit scene to see where we're going from this point forward, because I'm really confused at this point. Like, I know the grand scheme of things is supposed to be this Dave Filoni movie. I know there's going to be a 4th season of Mandalorian, if I'm not mistaken. But is there going to be another season of this? And if so, is there going to be another show that's going to tie, everything together before, we get to this Dave Filoni? Because I need to know who the big bad is that we're after. Because right now, it ain't Thrawn.
Nah, and I don't know. This part for me is very. They're treading on like very, very, very thin ice when it comes to this. And not even, again, I'm not talking about like me being like a super fan, and I'm not trying to be a hater. I just really trying to figure out like logically where is this going?
Right. Yeah.
And not because like I'm being impatient or I don't want to, like I'm just an entitled fan. Like, nah, seriously, just thematically, plot wise, like what are we trying to do?
I'm gonna tell you what this is feeling like to me right now. It's starting to feel like the MCU right now, after Thanos is gone. Where are we going right now? Am I lying, Rashad? Because we're still trying to figure out where the MCU is going since Infinity War. There's so many ways they're trying to go with it. We've known at least who the big bad was by the time Avengers came out with, with all the movies and stuff, or knew where it was pointing to. With this right here, it's like, I don't know where we're pointing at, but it is what it is. We just got to wait to see what happens next week.
Yeah, basically. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be here to talk about it. They're gonna love us on the socials this week. Anyway, I'm paused again. Next week is the last episode. We'll be recording our Loki review the following Friday. You know what I'm saying? They drop Thursdays at 9, which I'm loving this release schedule because it just
that's right. Loki start next week.
Yeah, Thursday.
Oh wow! All right.
Yeah. So we'll be on that too on a Friday. But yeah, that's what we got, man. Make sure y'all follow us on the things, man. We appreciate y'all. Till next time.
Appreciate y'all so much.